My name is Gutierrez. I am a graduate student at the University of Texas at Arlington. I'm here to discuss a leadership book review. It's through N5343, Leadership in Complex Healthcare Systems. The book is titled Leadership Conversations, Challenging High Potential Managers to Become Great Leaders. Some specifics, what makes these authors qualified to write this book. Mr. Burson is an executive coach, leadership consultant, speaker, author, and professor. He has over 30 years experience working in Fortune 500 firms, and he's an adjunct professor at Georgetown's McDonough School of Business. Mr. Steiglitz is a business consultant and speaker. He was previously an officer in the U.S. Navy and an executive in the aerospace and computer industries. He has also authored 3 books and publishes a monthly leadership ebook. The purpose of leadership conversations, I felt, was broken down to 4 main subsections. It allows you to learn the mindset of a manager and leader and that balancing act. It teaches you to build relationships to create followers that align with the organization, and that's based on trust and mutual benefit. It allows you to learn the conversation strategies and tools to make and act on decisions. And it teaches you to develop yourself and other high potentials into top organizational leaders, which is succession planning. The target audience for leadership conversations, it is required reading for managers looking to make it to the next level. It also is meant for those high potential leaders to improve their performance so they could get into higher roles and be successful in those positions. Personally, this book is timely to me as I recently accepted an offer at another organization, 1 step higher than my current role in leadership. Some specific strengths in the book, it differentiates management versus leadership. It teaches you to change the way you communicate by structuring your conversations. It improves your listening skills and allows you to continue the conversation. It also allows you to foster innovation by starting a conversation, teaching you to listen to learn and respond with purpose. And it teaches you to take into account both sides to develop a solution. One other thing that I want to emphasize regards to the strengths is it emphasizes that you learn how to refocus the way you communicate and begin to not only structure your conversations, but listen better to improve the questions you ask back. Some shortcomings from the book, I felt the book lacked practical stories that make a lasting memory. I was not able to get that aha moment reading the book. Specifically for me, if I have management and leadership experience, I was able to relate to the case studies in the book, but for that high potential leader who may not have the experience, they may struggle reading the book. I also felt there was redundancy and discussion throughout the book relating to communication and management versus leadership, and the book was not healthcare focused. So did the book meet its objectives? I felt the book met the objectives that it set out for by organizing the book into meaningful chapters and providing examples for the reader. I felt the 4 main objectives were learning the mindset of a manager and leader, building the relationships to create followers that align with the organization, learning those conversation strategies, and planning for that succession, growing yourself and growing those followers. So some more specific analysis, I felt that the book teaches the difference between management and leadership by providing the examples of how and when to have that leadership, that management mindset, or when do you use both. So when do you become transactional, or when do you become transformational? It met the relationship building factor because the book teaches you that relationships are built on trust and mutual benefit. Some specific examples where I was able to relate. If I'm trying to roll out a new process and that employee does not trust me, the likelihood of that process failing is more so if there's no trust and there's no mutual benefit on both sides. A main part of the book that I felt was really impactful, it teaches you to make decisions, that the communication has to be collaborative and open, and you have to act on decisions by balancing that transactional and transformational mindset. Based on the strengths, I found the book to be excellent. I highly recommend the book for the aspiring leader, for the new nurse manager, for that high potential shooting for a promotion, or that manager that may want to take the next step into a new job role. I felt accomplished those by teaching the difference between management and leadership, teaching the communication strategies that is based on leadership and transformational strategies, and the book can allow for impact personally, for growth and for the growth of other high potentials. So highly recommended book. Any questions that you may have?